like you got nothing better to do than throw rocks at things that shine. Well, you ought to be chasing your own dreams instead of shooting holes in mine. Then again, keep it coming, keep your big mouth running, keep kicking me while I'm down. Hop on the bandwagon, man, while you can, better doubt me now. Keep building that chip up on my shoulder, keep feeding that monkey on my back. I can feel your hot air blowing in colder, stoking this fire up under my ass. Gotta be living for the day, gonna see my face big as life and laughing out loud. Loving all you haters, begging you to doubt me now. Like a walk-on quarterback, a wannabe Cadillac, a backup to a third string. I'm outside the box, ain't got no shot at the bullseye or the brass ring. Yeah, I heard it all, bet you thought I'd crawl under a rock and never wanna come out. But I'll never let you give me a reason to doubt me now. So keep building that chip up on my shoulder, keep feeding that monkey on my back. I can feel your hot air blowing in colder, stoking this fire up under my ass. Gotta be living for the day, gonna see my face big as life and laughing out loud. Loving all you haters, begging you to doubt me now. Come on! Yeah, keep building that chip up on my shoulder, keep feeding that monkey on my back. I can feel your hot air blowing in colder, stoking this fire up under my ass. Got me living for the day, gonna see my face big as life, last laughing out loud. Loving all you haters, begging you to doubt me now. Yeah, I love all you haters, come on and doubt me now. Try and doubt me now. Hop on the bandwagon.
What's going on, guys? Been a long time no see. We got a lot to talk about tonight. But before we get started, I'm going to give a shout out to Ryan over at Metal Detecting Shop, #1 dude to deal with. 60-day return policy, just an awesome guy to deal with, man. He's had 100, and last time I looked, 160 5-star reviews on Google reviews. Great guy to deal with. So if you're thinking about purchasing a metal detector, give him a call. All right, guys, it's been a busy few weeks since I've seen you guys. I've been testing beta versions for the Legend, beta versions for the Triple Score. I've been diving. I've been in the Smoky Mountains with my family on vacation. So this is actually the first 2 days that really I have got to sit down and, really not be in the middle of the road or actually obligated to do something. So here we are live again after 2 weeks. But let me give a shout out. There's Ryan right there, guys. And like I said, great guy to deal with. And he will be on his website. I'll be working with him for people who purchase metal detectors to give instructions and any information that's needed over there. And he'll be using some of my videos on his website, instructional videos too, so it'll all be in one place. So if you purchase a detector from him, you'll be able to find that information on that specific detector on his website too. So let me give some shout outs here. Man, I'm fired up, guys. I'm going to show you some relics. It's been like a 4 silver kind of dive week over the last couple of weeks. I went diving. Well, let me give the shout outs first and then we'll get into the story. And I've got the camera set up and I'm going to show you some finds. I didn't have any. Is Delta Fresh Relics in here? Do you want to shoot me over a couple of your finds that you found? I know that you said you found something this week. Shoot them over and I'll airdrop them on the computer and I'll show them while we're live. if I can make it happen and not glitch. What's going on, Ohio Fred? Metal detecting with ZZ Kid. West Coast Detect, keep the haters at bay. What y'all think about that intro? That's for all the haters out there. There's Delta Fresh Relics. He's in here. What's going on, Ricky? Lance, what's up, man? What's up, Lewis? Hey, Brass Medic. What's going on, man? Getting to be some good fall detecting weather over here on the East Coast. So we're going to get started with that. How is the audio? Am I not too loud? I know that I talk real loud and I've got it adjusted down, but is it peaking or is it about right where it needs to be? You guys comment on that for me. What's going on, Manuel? Lewis, Ricky, Ohio Fred. So I'm going to dive into the testing of metal detectors really quick. So got a Legend beta, took it to the beach, tested it, improvement. They've working on the pinpoint on the Legend beta. So I don't know when that particular beta will be released, but I know that it's an improvement over what they had. Now, as far as going, I appreciate it, CZ Kid. As far as going through the detector and looking at other aspects of it, I've not had a whole lot of time to do that. What's going on, Fly Rock? I've not had a whole lot of time to do that. So, beach program is what I was specifically looking at. I will get out and test the pinpoint function more if they send us more betas. Triple score update is in the beta version. It is out there. Treasure Finder 66 helped with that too. You remember he found the problem and then I showed it and they started giving us beta version updates and they have improved the beach version tremendously. So we'll see what the final product looks like and I will compare it with the beta version that I have of the last one that they sent me and we'll see. And then we'll do a head-to-head video coming up here in the next few weeks since the tourists are gone and it's cooling down. I'll drag every machine I got to the beach and we'll put a $1,500, $1,600 machine out there all the way to a $479 machine and we'll get the sticks, the gold rings, the small gold, and we'll just do a whole detector shootout on the beach and see, you know, what we're getting these days between that, you know, higher price range and the lower price range. So that'll be coming up very, very soon. What's going on, Willie? But yeah, we will, let me see how many I got in here. 38. I haven't been on in a while, so I'm kind of a little bit rusty, but we'll do the beach shootout. That should be very interesting. I want to spend I always like to go to the beach in the fall. I know that, you know, that gets picked over, but I like it when a lot of people are not there because I deal with people a lot, and I always like it when it's kind of not so crowded. But let me tell you guys a little story here. I've been diving. Me and Flagman have just been on the road diving, and we got into a site, a really, really good site, and we slowed down and we started working that site, and it coughed up some stunners. I'm going to show you a couple of reals. They have a lot of detail, but I was looking at them before I went live, and they need a little bit of the tarnish cleaned off of them, so the camera will pick it up good. So the camera is not going to show it as well as I would like it to, but we're going to make it happen anyway. And this is Delta Fresh Relics finds, and let me airdrop these to the computer. And you know, you guys are welcome to send your finds to my email. I've just been really busy. It's calabashdiggeradventures@gmail.com, and I've been real busy. So let me pull this airdrop into the current scene. Let me see if I can do this without messing something up, and let's see what happens here. Well, let's scroll out. Okay, there we go. It actually worked really well, right? So Delta Fresh Relics has been tearing it up, and I think that these were found with the triple score, and I think that that right there is a testament to how well that detector's performing for $479. He's been finding a lot of relics. Let me pull up. He sent me another one, so hold on one second, guys, and we'll pop another one in. But like I said, you guys send me your wait a minute. Hold on here just a second. Wait till you guys see this little jewel. Did you find that with the triple score Delta Fresh Relics? This little bit and bob I'm about to show here. You guys check this out. This is getting back in the age right here. Oh my gracious, cut Spanish bit. I'm loving it. I am loving it. So That is a very, very cool find. What's up, Edward? What's going on, Blackwater Master? That is a very, very cool find. Congrats on that one, Corey. That is very nice. And let me see, you might have sent me one more find. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Uh-oh, the one beside it's interesting, too. So let's check this out, guys. Let me get it pulled up here. There it goes, air dropping. And let's pull that one into here, and let's look at it. Okay. Oh, we got a ring and some kind of Native American piece there. That's really, really cool. Well, congrats on all of those finds. So you've got the Native American in the ring, we've got the Spanish bit, and we've got the buttons and all. So that, ooh boy, look at those age on those flat buttons. That's killer. I'm going to switch over to another camera, and I'm going to go through my finds, and we'll get in here and we'll talk about detectors. We'll talk about, I was trying to think of what to do. I've been doing a series, basically 101 basics of learning metal detectors, and we will dive into that. And you know, I'm going to lay a couple of things out there about settings on these detectors that actually have a big impact on the performance of metal detector. And you guys interject what your thoughts are on this, and what you think about the process or the theory that I've come up with on how to learn these multi-frequency settings with all these settings and programs on them. Yeah, he done really good, man. He done real good with those relics. I'm going to show you my finds for the last few weeks, and I'm going to tell you, I'm still riding high on these finds because there's some unique finds in it, and there's some stunners in it too. And I got one of my first sword pieces, and I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to show you that piece. And if you guys know exactly where this went on the sword and how it worked, Flagman confirmed that it was a sword piece, and I'm firmly in agreement with him. But you guys check it out and let me know if you can confirm where it went on the sword. But we're going to kick over, and we'll do the sword piece first. So let me look at the screen and make sure I'm in focus and all. We want to be in focus. We want to show everybody. There we go. See how it does, guys? It's hollowed out right here. It's got a clip on the top here. Let me pop it here. I want it to track the sword piece, not my hand. And it's soldered on right here. You guys see all that? So what part of the sword did this go to? The scabbard, and how did it work? If you guys have any information on that, I would greatly appreciate it. But it's a very, very cool piece. And I found that in a place where it had been hammered for years, and I basically was digging around through there with the Deus 2, and up pops that piece, you know. So here's a very interesting button. You guys see the N on that button? Well, there's a P. Actually, this is a pewter button. This is from the Rev War era. And that N, it was much debate over the years because they were finding these in British camps and different things, and it was finally, I believe, considered to be a British button that was handed out sometime during the Revolutionary War to loyalists. Now, there was much debate, and I guess there's probably still debate on it, but look at how crude that button is. But look at how good a shape that was in. If it would have had a number on the front, oh my gracious. I found another interesting piece. Check this piece out, guys. This is a presidential token. And I got that right close to a couple of other artifacts that I'll show you in just a minute. But this is probably, I think from what I researched it, probably from the 1920s. I don't know that it's any older than that, but still a very, very interesting piece. So, where are we at here? Oh, check these out. This was close to the presidential token. Let's see if I can get them to pick up. These are silver cufflinks. Now, I did not find them whole. I actually found one, and you can see the thing is split there. I found one, and then a few feet away, I found the other with the clip in the middle. But they do have, oh, I see this jumping off my cufflinks here. Let me go back to this cufflink and see if we can get it to focus so you guys can see it's not wanting to act right. There it goes. Come on. I know you're having a hard time focusing, but the people want to see these cufflinks. There we go. Well, of course it's going to be a disaster. It's focused on my thumb, you know. There we go. But you guys see the design on the cufflinks. Let's see here. Here's a half real. Let's see if we can get it. And this is what I was talking about. This real has got a lot of detail on it, but it's very hard to see with all the grunge on the real. So we're going to clean it just a little bit with some silver cleaner, and I'll show you guys this real again when I get it cleaned up just a little bit. A half real, very, very nice. Fine, $17.79 on that half. And here is a stunner, and I think that you guys will be able to see this one and appreciate it. Oh yeah, you guys see that capped? That, and I have not put the video up, but since you guys are on the live stream with me, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. You'll see this in a video. My next video coming up, that capped bust there. Let's see. Let me get it turned right here. We can see if we can pull it in. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Let's cancel the tracking. There we go. Now let's track it. All right, guys. This camera, I'm trying to chew bubble gum and walk here, but what you guys think about that cap bust dime? That's a stunner right there, man. So I've got the sword piece, just a few other shoe buckles, handful of buttons. Let me see what I got here. Just a handful of buttons. There's British button and American buttons come from here, and I know here's the Tudor Rose button. Very debatable. Is that British? You know, I don't know, but you know, there's a lot of debate around that. If you know, because there's so many Tudor Roses. Did civilians wear them? But yeah, man, just a totally great week. And let's see here. Let me just pull it down, and you can see the amount of finds. There's a large cent. It's a little bit roached, but just a whole lot of early artifacts. Let me get kicked back over here. What do you guys think about all that? Yeah, it's been a great week for me as far as artifact hunting goes. Been, looks like part above the handguard. Cool deal, Edward. I appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Let's see here. The buttons were the triple. The bit in the Indian ring were the Deus 2. The other silver ring with the diamond were the triple. Man, that is too cool. That is so cool that you're utilizing and using your tools, man, to find, you know, he's using different machines and he's utilizing them and finding stuff with both units. Looking at the purchasing of Score 3 soon, we're still watching videos on it. It's actually a really, really good detector, CZ Kid. For the money, I mean, this is one of the things that I've been talking about in the last couple of lives. We're getting to a point where, now, am I going to say that the triple will beat the Deus 2? No. The Deus 2 and the Manicore have an advantage over the Nokta detectors, and that is this. When you get to extreme depths, the Deus 2 and the Manicore are more out to tell you what's at the extreme depth. But they cost $1,300 and $1,500. So we're talking about detectors that are unmasking on a very good level now with the triple and the updates with the Legend that are half the price. And me and Iffy had a discussion, you know, and we were talking about most people, the majority of people, may never need an unmasking, you know, that extra unmasking light we get out of the Manicore or the Deus 2 or the at depth that we get. When we look at these detectors on the beach now, I mean, for $1,600 in a Manicore and $1,300 in a Deus 2, and I'm being straight here, I think that you may be getting 1.5 inches to 2 inches max, maybe over the triple score on the beach now. Just think about that. So 2 inches on the beach, and we're talking about the triple scores hitting a ring at 13 to 14 inches, and we're talking about the Manicore and the Deus 2. You guys seen me show it before. It's 15 to 16 inches. And you know, at 15 to 16 inches with the Manicore and the Deus 2, it's very iffy. The test that I did with the triple on the 13-inch ring was not really iffy. I mean, and it wouldn't be with the Deus 2 or the Manicore. I would dig the 13-inch ring, but you're pushing them so hard at 14. I'm just saying there's not a whole lot of gap there for the price. Is the 2 inches that important to you? Well, it may be, but it's just an observation that $479 is getting really close in beach performance to the Manicore and the Deus 2. And I never thought, you know, a few years ago when the Deus 2 come out and beat the Equinox on the beach, that we would be talking about sub $500 metal detector being close to it on the beach. And I'll go ahead and tell you, if we set the Deus 2 up in beach sensitive and the Manicore and low conductors, and in a way that it'll hit a 16 and 15 inch nickel, the triple score is more stable than both of those detectors. It may not hit the 15 inch nickel, it may hit it at 13 or 14 possibly, but the stability is more stable, it's more quieter than those two high-end detectors. Of course, they're more sensitive and they, you know, pop a little bit more because they got that little bit of extra depth and sensitivity, I would assume, and I've got to test this, to smaller gold. But it's a very close race right there. Looks like part of the handguard. Okay, thanks Ryan. All because, yeah, Delta Fresh Relics bought his from Ryan, but that is where we're at with the you know, performance on these metal detectors. Now, this learning business that I've been talking about and how to learn. Where you guys at? I don't see no comments. Am I lost here? You hit the like button. Are you guys still here with me, or did YouTube drop all of y'all? So how many have I got in here? I've got 45 in here with me. Oh, YouTube is running way behind. Oh, wow. Wow. What is going on here, people? So I am running literally way behind on my YouTube. Excellent connection, but my video is lagging really bad. We are here. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on in my studio. I'm still showing artifacts from... Okay, so everybody's hearing me. Seems like maybe the YouTube thing is off. Well, we're going to roll with it, guys. Hey, we appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that's still here. I've got a little bit of technical difficulty going on this end. Normally, I have like a 15-second lag, but it looks like I've got about a 5-minute lag now. So, but I know that you guys are hearing me in closer to real time because of the comments just coming in. So we're going to roll with it. I don't know, YouTube at its finest. But I've been talking about these detectors, you know, and this is cross-brand. All these simultaneous multi-frequency detectors, XP, Minelab, Nokta detectors. And I've been thinking about what are the most important, you know, aspects of those detectors and setting them up. Let me pull up this different green screen here and see if I can, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not, but I've been you know, teaching off of this triangle here, recovery speed. And I put that up at the top, and I've got frequency over here, and I've got iron filter and iron bias over here. Of course, you can't see it because I'm on the green screen behind me. But I've been thinking about, you know, the insecurities that we get when we get a new detector, or when we're learning a new technology. Say we're coming from single frequency VLF, something like a Garrett AT Pro or Max or something like that, and we come into all these detectors with all these settings, and you don't know, you know, what a 5 recovery speed does versus 1, or what the frequency or iron filter does. And I've been thinking about these 3 aspects of the triangle and showing people that, yes, we can simplify the iron filter. We can simplify it on the Deus 2, and on the Deus, of course, it's silencer and discrimination, but for this term, we're going to use iron filter for iron bias, silencer, discrimination, and the upper and Ferris limits on the Manicore. But we can simplify all of this. And how is that? Well, a lot of the guys that I know, like TN Sharpshooter up in Tennessee, we got Iffy up in the, you know, northeast. You've got me here in the southeast. Then we've got Treasure Finder 66 down on the Gulf Coast. We've got Delta Fresh Relics down on the Gulf Coast. We are running these detectors very similar in these iron patches and this different soils from the state, but it's still mild to moderate mineralization. So, with that being said, I've been doing teachings on these and saying, look guys, when you get these new detectors, we've got to understand recovery speed. Why? Because recovery speed is one of those settings that has a drastic performance change on the metal detector. And my thinking behind recovery speed on a metal detector is starting out when you're learning it. I know there's specialized scenarios where you may use it high or low, but learning it is finding out where the best bang for your buck is, where you get good depth and still get good separation. And from the test garden, I've done a series of videos on the detectors, and you guys can go check those out. And we talk about, and I show in real life time, the different effects of recovery speed on separation test, just on recovery speed itself with multiple targets laid out, and the effects that it has on depth. And we walk away with each detector with a general setting for recovery speed, or a good starting place to help the beginner or the person switching to these new multi-frequency metal detectors. We do it with the iron filter. We simplify that, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, running these detectors, I like to run my iron filter as low as I can get it without causing a bunch of falsing. And I've got settings on from Minelab units to Nokta units to XP units that, like I said, all the way from the Gulf Coast to the East Coast to the Northeast Coast that are being used. And we talk about this amongst ourselves off camera, and they're pretty much universal up and down the coast. Now, I know that will change if you live in highly mineralized dirt, and I'm not teaching people to run metal detectors in highly mineralized dirt because I have very little experience of running a metal detector in highly mineralized dirt. And if I lived in Culpeper, Virginia, I would not be using a VLF machine. I would be using a pulse induction machine, digging those deep bullets and deep Civil War artifacts. That's what I would be doing. Let me go back here and see comments because I'm running my mouth about this. But anyway, I do the triangle here, and we get those three basic settings figured out where people can have confidence that, hey, I've got my recovery speed on my Minelab at 4 or 5 on the Manicore, and I know that at 4, 5, and 6 on the Manicore is still deep, and you got great separation. Same thing with the Deus 2. What's a good general all-around recovery speed? 2.5. You get excellent separation, and you still get excellent depth in mild to moderate soil. So anyway, I've been doing a series of videos to help people. You guys have seen the 8-ball triangle here, and one of the other aspects, and we talked about this, is the tones. And my philosophy on tones is this. If you're learning a metal detector, pick a set of tones, and I've said this over and over, and I'll preach this from here on out. Pick a set of tones. If you don't like them in 30 minutes, change them. But if you go out and you detect today with 5 tones, then the next time you go out and detect, you need to use 5 tones again. Don't go out and detect one day with 5 tones. Take your new metal detector the next day and go out and detect with 60 tones. If you want to learn the detector, you need to pick a set of tones and stick with them for, 40, 50 hours. And see how you feel about it. But if you instantaneously know that you don't like them, then change them. But get somewhere and get settled and get your programs across the board with the same tone options on any of these metal detectors that you're using. And I'm just repeating what I already said in a previous live stream. But let me go over here and look at the comments because I am really just rambling on tonight. Let me see here. Yeah, I still got a few people in here, man. It's amazing. So roll with it. I'm rolling with it. Sniff it out. Let me go back and put my other backdrop back in here so we can see what's going on here. If I got a brick wall, or let's see. You guys want to be at the beach? You guys want to be at the castle? Or do you want to go back to the brick wall? Pretty cool what technology can do these days, right? But what's going on, Dave? What's up, Johnny Rum? Carrie? Let's see here. Like I commented on the legend video, I'm definitely going to try your on iron. Yeah, and let us know how that does. We're currently running in red clay in Virginia. Let us know what that does in that dirt up there. It's a different dirt than I have here. I'll be interested. And my suggestion on the legend, here I can run the legend with a stability of 1, or iron filter of 1, and a stability of 5. And I can get away with that in a colonial site. And I've actually ran it 1.4 and got away with that. And that, for me, it's like this. Out of using all these detectors in the mild dirt that I'm in, and I know the guys that have the mild to moderate soil, you can get the detectors pulled down to a limit, if this makes sense, to a certain edge point where you will get the unmasking and you will not have a ton of iron faulting. All detectors fault, so let's get that out of the way. But you got a point to where, like here, we can pull the Deus 2 down to a 6.4 discrimination. A silencer of 2 is what I like to run most of the time now. It just seems smoother. But you could get away with a silencer of 6.4 and 0, and it'll be a little more bumpier. But we know that the Deus 2 comes into a realm there of where you're running it right at this point where it's not over the edge on nail faulting, and you're gaining the best performance out of it. And I think that you can do that with all of these detectors. I mean, I think that these controlled test environment have let me pull these detectors down. Yes, of course, I have to go out and confirm that it can be ran that way in the field, but it has let me open the detector up to a point where you're basically getting, in mild to moderate soil, you're basically getting the best performance out of it. And you guys know that I specialize in iron and unmasking. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. We can learn the detector from a point to where it's not over the edge and going erratic, crazy, and falsing, and we can help people have confidence when they get these new detectors if they watch these classes and say, you know what, it's really not that complicated, because I know that the recovery changes this and the iron filter changes that, and those are the things that I have to watch. If I raise it too high, I'll lose depth. If I lower it too low, I'll lose some unmatched, and stuff like that, and give everybody confidence. There's nothing worse than getting a new detector and not find anything with it and get in your mind a little bit, get up in your head and thinking, oh, it's my fault. I've got it messed up. It's not set up correctly. And we want to avoid that and give people confidence. But anyway, let's go right here. Any DT on... I'll be honest with you, Edward, I don't like that setting. They put it on there. I tested it. The only thing that I could see with it is it seemed to make the machine more unstable. I tested it on the deep targets in my garden. I did not see any benefit. I tested it on the beach, on the deep stuff. I did not see any benefit. So I don't really know what it does. I mean, I'm straight up on this stuff, and that DT setting, I just don't know. And for me, if you go pull up any of the Nokta machines that I have in those beta versions, that DT setting is not on for that exact reason. My philosophy on these deeper targets, and let's talk about this just for a minute. When you're using these machines, I've seen this in some videos, and I've seen reports. People say, well, my machine's erratic. And I'm like, well, what's your sensitivity? 25, or whatever the highest is you can get on a Deus 2. I got it at 99, or you know what I mean? And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Guys, when you're running these detectors are strong. So I took the triple score out today. I popped the sensitivity down to 10, and I busted a 12-inch silver $half in my garden. Well, why did I do that? I was teaching on it, and I was also showing that too high of a sensitivity is not always more. And in that case, a lot of times the too high of a sensitivity is more is less. You will hurt yourself more than you will benefit yourself by over running the gain, as the old timers used to call it, or the sensitivity too high. You start getting all of this feedback, and then you may can stand over a target at 15 inches and wiggle the coil back and get it to blip on it with a sensitivity at 99 on the Deus 2. But the reality is when you come out and you're hunting in the field and you're getting all this feedback, that deep target may just sound like another blip feedback, and you'll walk on and leave it. When you get the machine calmed down, then when you get that blip, your odds are more higher that it's actually something in the ground under the coil. And I really firmly believe that, this sensitivity thing, you guys, are out there that like to run it so high. You can run your detector how you want to, but I feel like at the end of the day, you harm yourself more than you help yourself when you put the machine out of kilter and run it over the edge like that with too high of a sensitivity. You guys tell me what you think about that. With coke ovens, bummer. Ooh, that stinks. That stinks. What's up, Ohio Fred? I'm running IF of 4 and ST at start at 1.2, but let you know how your setting works. Hey, appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. 1.5, 1 and 5. I never, the Legend, what's going on, Andy? The Legend iron filter and iron bias, I griped about it before. The triple score fixed it, and I applaud Nokta for doing it. It's just a single number. What I found on the Legend and testing it early on is you could have a 1.5 and you had more iron filter than a 2.1. And now it doesn't work in incremental element or in a way. So it always kind of baffled me. So I just tested and tested and tested until I got down in the ones, and 1.5, 1.4. Actually, 1.5 and 1.4 was more filtered than 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. It would false with 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3, but 1.4 and 1.5 wouldn't false and would give you better unmasking. Why it's like that, I don't know, and I need to look at it closer with the updates and see if they've changed the way that it steps up. But, you know, in the past when I tested it, that's what I found, and that's how I settled on 1.4 and 1.5. You know, getting the unmasking and, you know, taking it out the field and having the iron not so, you know, falsing so much and still having great unmasking capabilities. I've been using the Manicore coming from my finds on my. You're right on what you're saying. I've been using the Manicore for the last year, but I've come from an AT Max, and if I'm honest, I found my best finds on my AT Max. And you know, David here has come from a single frequency detector, a Garrett AT Max, and he says that he's found his best finds with it. Well, I found a lot of good finds with my AT Pro, and they will find stuff, but the Manicore is a high performance metal detector, and that sucker has an uncanny ability to dig out deep silver targets. But you need to get that confidence with that machine. And I understand, hey, and I've had buddies do this, and look, I understand it. It's very easy to have a metal detector that has found you those champion, you know, finds, man, and you're like, okay, you know, I've got so much confidence in this metal detector. Then you see a guy like Calabash on YouTube talking about, well, you know, the Manicore is on a whole nother level than the AT Max performance-wise, and then you get it, and you're not confident with it, and you're kind of. And I'm not saying that this is what's going on with you, David, but I've been there myself. I'm insecure with the metal detector because I'm like, okay, I know this one, but I don't understand this one. And that is what we want to help with. And I'm going to do a video, David, on the Manicore, breaking it down in the simplest way that it can be used, getting the most out of it for coin hunting, artifact hunting, and, you know, getting the best bang for your buck as time as you invest into that machine. I'll be doing that video probably Monday. I don't think I'm going to go dive until Wednesday, but I'm going to break the Manicore down too and look at settings that have been used from the Gulf Coast all the way to the Northeast, all the way up into Tennessee, and the settings that I've used here on the East Coast. And I hope that video, I hope you'll check it out, David, because I totally get that. And, you know, it's easy for me to tell people that the Manicore will blow the AT Max away, and it will. You know, when you put those head-to-head with each other, the Manicore is the top detector in the world with the Deus 2. It's a toss-up, in my opinion, between those two performance-wise. But I know even if you have that in your hand, you've got to have some confidence and understanding. And I know the Manicore can be very overwhelming. I remember the AT Pro, and you guys can relate to this. So when I got into detecting, I got an Ace 150. I'm reading the manual. You know what I mean? I got an AT Pro. Oh, I'm reading the manual. I'm watching the Hoover Boys. I'm buying the big coils. Oh, I switched over to the Deus 1. Oh my gosh, the AT Pro cut on, zero mode, sensitivity, ground balance. Oh, Deus 1, reactivity, silencer, frequency. Oh, you know, and it happens. But spend time with it. And there's guys like me out there that will try to help you with it. And stay tuned for the Manicore video. But I remember the overwhelming feeling of moving up the ladder. It's just that I mess with this stuff all the time now, and I'm really, I'm used to it because the brands work very similar across brands. They do have different lingos, but they're very similar in what the settings do. But hey, David, good luck on your hunts. You know what, Delta Fresh Relics? I wasn't even thinking about you when I said that. Delta Fresh Relics fell victim to the sensitivity. I'm exactly about running over. Yeah, man, you can really hurt yourself and make your hunt very not pleasurable, not enjoyable. You got all this, and hey, this on the beach, guys. Dang, I want to do a series on the beach to help people too on all these detectors, and it's just so hard to do. So I'm trying to make a video for the Elite, the Manicore, the Deus 2, the Triple Score, but I want to show people who don't say per se beach hunt all the time, or who do beach hunt all the time and got one of these new detectors, how to take these things to the beach and in 2 minutes have it up and running on the saltwater beach. So I may opt out of diving next week, and I may go to the beach and do the head-to-head and try to film a video series on the Manicore, the Deus 2, just basically how to go to the beach, take the detector out, set it up, get it stable in the wet sand, and go hunting. The easiest way. XP's got a flaw in their preset programs. They've got the reactivity at 0 in their beach programs, and that is a major flaw, because if someone gets this detector and is not used to all those settings or understands it, then he goes to the beach, he puts the Deus 2 in beach mode, he swings the coil down by the salt water, and the detector is sounding crazy and erratic, not knowing that the bare minimum that I would run the Deus 2 in the wet salt sand on reactivity is 1.5, salt sensitivity 7 to 9. It's according to what I'm doing, but if you have those two settings dialed into the machine, it instantaneously changes the way the detector performs in the salt water, and XP needs to change that. But anyway, that is one of my goals, not only these teaching videos, but also for the beach. Let's say the man does it beach hunting, goes on vacation twice a year with his metal detector. Well, I want to put some videos up to help people where they can just go get it set up and take off. Triple Score is pretty easy to use on the beach. The Minelab machine's pretty easy to use on the beach. Deus, in my opinion, is not the Deus. The Deus is probably the most complicated, because you got to change those settings or you're not going to be able to hunt in the wet sand on that. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm looking for a match. So your scabbard, so far I found the part is called the locket. Locket. Okay, appreciate that. The locket. Appreciate that so much. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Let's see. I have metal detectors from the 80s, 90s that found me so much, and I would swear I can find more with it, but just not true. You're right, Dave, and you're right. I've dealt with a lot of old timers, and they'd have Tesoros or this, that, the other, and I'm not knocking those machines. I'm just telling you that when they bring those machines to my house, I can take these modern detectors out here on the same test and just basically blister them. A Tesoro with a concentric coil. Let's talk about that just for a minute, because I've heard a lot about Tesoros in the iron. And people say, oh, I found this and I found that. That's true. A Tesoro with a concentric coil, when the iron is very close, if you see Monty's nail board test, a Tesoro looks like a top dog. But as soon as you take a Tesoro into testing and you start doing 3D elevated tests, that's more like the reality that maybe out in the ghost towns it's different, where the dirt is so hard. Maybe the sink rate is not the same here, but you get these nails that are in different planes, and a Tesoro really starts lagging there compared to these other metal detectors. And I've talked about that, and I don't want to step on nobody's toes today, but it's true. These older detectors will not hold a candle to these newer detectors. And I've heard this one: the pinnacle of metal detector technology has been reached. And here's my answer to that: bull crap. We got detectors now that are hitting 15-inch nickels on the beach and 13 and 14-inch gold rings. Show me a CTX will not do that. Just take that off the table. Show me another detector from old that will even come close to that. Not a pulse induction, but a VLF machine. Show me a detector from that old that will unmask on 3D elevated unmasking planes with nails, non-ferrous here, and nails on different planes better than the detector. It doesn't exist. I've tested them all. It does not exist. Yep, there's some detectors on Monty's nail board test, the same plane, that will look really good, but the older detectors, look, I get it. Those were top of the line for that time. And the guy told me about when he seen the first Sovereign and he went to the beach with it and he cleaned house. But those days are over. There's tons of beach detectors out there now, and the detectors are advancing. Maybe we won't have one that hits a target at 2 feet, and I really don't care. But hopefully, you know, before I fly off to heaven, we will see targets, you know, in the 15-inch range and above, and it'll be the race of the detector that can unmask them, that can ID it the best, that can give you the best information on those targets, the detector that can deal with the modern trash the best. I don't want to walk around digging 2-foot holes all day, but, you know, from a foot and above. So, no, detecting technology has not reached its pinnacle, and I'm like, when people say that, I'm kind of like, well, give me the detector in the year that it did reach its pinnacle. You know, so anyway, that's kind of my rant and rave and fluff on that. You know, so anyway, let's see right here. You're right, Dave. You're right, and you know, I don't have love affairs with machines. You guys see me. I love the Deus 1, the Equinox 800 come out. I jumped ship, and I'll just tell you guys straight up. The Manicore with the 9-inch coil will probably be my land hunting machine, primary land hunting machine in iron, because that thing is a beast. And you guys know that I love XP, but I'm not brand loyal like that. The best tool for the job is what I'm going to use, and I like the experience with the Manicore with the 9-inch coil in iron, and I like the way that the tones sound. I like the way that it reacts. You know, I did love the Equinox 800. So I'm very, you know, I spent a lot of time with that Equinox 800, and I'm very familiar with Minelab products, and it probably will be. And that's one thing that I just don't want to get that way, to where if another tool comes out, I want to be able to make adjustments and, you know, use whichever tool I need to be using. I'm swinging the double score. I'm still testing, learning. 1, 2, 3, beta 3. Thanks. Hey, we appreciate it, Manuel. Man, the double score, these detectors are, you know, the double score is got some unmasking capabilities too, man. That really surprised me when they come out with that detector. Love the boot camp bit. Yeah, hey man, dude, everything's been going good. Let me show you guys something while I got you on here. So I did find some treasures with my granddaughter, and let me make sure that I don't got any copyrighted music in this, because it'll strike my live stream. Hold on a minute. Let me look right here. Yeah, I'm going to pull up a 1-minute video. You guys check this out, man. We went to the Smoky Mountains, dude, and we had a great time. And I played cameraman and photographer, and I got off the metal detecting for a week. Me and my granddaughter went out, man. We had a blast. So check these animals out, man. This is a real treasure, too. Just not metal or glass, but check this out real quick. Photos. What my GoPro sees and what my camera sees. Check him out. Look at him looking at the camera. Oh yeah. He's so scared, he don't know what to do.
I'm sorry?
Man, those were some cool animals to be around. The cow and the little Spike walked literally right out beside us. I had to jump around the car because they were probably only 10 feet from me. and they were in rut. So the bulls are rutting. There was a big fight between two of the bulls. The dominant bull, I got footage of him, but he was so far off. Man, he was like massive trophy size bull. The bull at the car was huge. I mean, it was very intimidating of how big these animals were, you know, and it was really, really kind of eye-opening how big they were. I'd seen them there before, but they were always way out. But the two bulls that had been fighting, I got the one bull after he got whipped by the big bull, and the park ranger lady showed me the footage of them two tangled up horns to horn, and the one broke and run and the other one chased him. Just a very, very interesting time, you know. And the photography, I like that too. I love finding artifacts. That's my #1 passion. But the videography and the photography are coming a close second nowadays. I really love doing that, and I enjoy getting that type of footage and seeing what I can do. Let's see what Blasted Cat says right here. Dave is correct. I've been detecting since 1982. Got a room full of vintage machines that I cherish, but I wouldn't consider myself until the last 8 years. Well, Blasted Cat's an expert in my opinion, and you know me and him has talked, and he really understands these machines and what's going on in the what's going on, Anthony, and what's going on in the market today. You know, I've debated with people. I just don't try to do that too much anymore, but you guys know in the past, I've had commenters come over and tell me, oh, the CTX is better on the beach than the Manicore. And I'm like, on what? If you're chasing clad coins, maybe it'll dig a high conductive coin as deep as the Manicore, but it ain't going to come close to digging a gold ring as deep as the Manicore. Oh, the CTX is, oh, the CTX. And I'm like, dude, it's a bygone. It's gone by. I've had a CTX. The thing was a boat anchor. It was a high-priced boat anchor with some very cool features on it, but we're here with the Manicore now, which will blister the thing in unmasking, kills it in weight, and beats it on the beach on small gold in depth. It's not even close. You guys seen the video from last year where I was out detecting or testing detectors on the beach, and the dude walked up with the CTX, and I wore him out with the newer detectors on the gold, man. He's like, I can't hear it. I'm like, I know, but you always get that. And, you know, the Excalibur, when I first started showing the Deus 2, I had the Excalibur crew that had the Excals modded, and my buddy BK, he had a beautiful modded Excalibur from, I think, Fort Bedford or somewhere he had gotten. Had the big, huge coil on it. We took that thing out there, man. I popped that gold ring in the beach out there in the wet sand, and I said, take that Excalibur. Can you hear that gold ring? Zilch. Nothing. And you seen the blood drain, and you know, he's like, and the blood drained out of his face. Why? Because the belief was is this modded out Excalibur was the cat's meow. And guess what? At one time it was, but a new cat's meow hit the street, and that's just how it goes. But lo and behold, his Excalibur went away the next week, sold, and lo and behold, the Deus 2 flew in. But it was one of those, you know, eye-opening moments. But I had much of that debate going on about the beach too, and you know, I had that going on about the beach with the Excalibur, the CTX. And, you know, and what was funny about it, a lot of that was from Minelab fanboys themselves. I'm like, what are you saying? Minelab can't make a better detector than one that they made years ago? Come on, man. Boat anchor, Dave like that. Let's see here. Huge 6 I found in New Mexico when I was out there hunting for. Hey, that's cool, man. Those are just some cool animals, man. I really enjoyed that. That was a very, very peaceful time. I appreciate the info on the locket. I'm not going to stay on too long tonight. I got to get ready to go back to work, and I'm finally trying to get rested up a little bit. I did see on Detector News the Garrett Vortex was delayed again until the end of September. But I do have a question, and we're not going to, you know, stay on that long. But why have we not seen any beach videos? I seen one with Ringy. Is it KG? I don't know. I don't know I know KG and Ring, but I don't know which one's Ringy. I think it's Ringy. Did a video of the thing down in Australia, and he shows it on the beach, but he doesn't show it. You know what I mean? He shows him walking on the beach with it, and it shows a hole with the sand smoothed off and a coin laying on top. And then he's talking about, how smooth it is, and he basically had to swing it over his bootlace holes to make sure that it was running. And I'm like, well, you guys have got professional cameramen out there showing this thing, filming you swinging it, but you can't hook a mic up to the machine or give us a demo of the machine on the beach at this time. And I just find that, I don't know, man. In this day and age, you guys have seen the way that Nokta, XP, and Minelab have released their last units. They basically were out there to be shown basically before the shipments landed. We know that the Deus 2, delayed again. So we know that the Deus 2 was shown. There was more video footage on the Deus 2 hunting and on the saltwater beach, live actual user, me, than we'd ever seen. We'd never seen a metal detector be allowed to be shown in the performance of that metal detector to be shown pre-shipment. You know what I mean? And that was a new thing, but the metal detecting companies, Minelab, Nokta, and XP, are starting to follow that trend, or XP set the trend, and that is so good for the consumer. I mean, because when I look at stuff like, and I'm just talking in general now, I'm not talking about Garrett, but when I look at something, I don't know, a new camera or something like that, and they say, oh, the camera's got the best footage in the world. This thing is a game changer. But I can't actually show you the footage. It has this feature, but I can't actually show you. Well, yeah, watch this. Look real quick. Did y'all get that? Hold on. Wait a minute. This thing has the best feature on it. Look at this feature. Look real quick. You know, it just makes my alarm bells go off like, yeah. Well, that's a good question, Ricky. I mean, why don't, come on, man. If you got a machine that's ready for production or in production, and it's supposed to be, all this and all that, show the doggone thing. Things are changing. Social media's changed things and the way things are done. You guys are getting to see beta version detectors tested in real life time with no NDA agreements. Think about that for a moment. Nokta is sending me beta versions from their engineers. I'm communicating directly, and I've done this with XP too. Some things I was asked not to show, and I would never do that. If they say, hey, we're going to work on this problem, please don't show that till we get it, I would never do that. But you're getting inside info or inside information pre-update. You know what I mean? But that can be a double-edged sword, because when people want something, if you're like me, I want it now, and you know what I mean? So, yeah, Calabash, send it on, and when things take too long, that can be problematic there too, and maybe it's better that it's not known that it's out there. But I feel like the openness that's going on now is a very good thing for the community. The price was what? Raised on the pre-orders 100? Or can you confirm that, Ryan? Are you still on here? The price was raised on the pre-orders 100? What does that mean? What are you saying? You had to place money down on your pre-order? See, Ryan don't do that. Ryan don't take money. If you pre-order a metal detector through the metal detecting shop over here, he doesn't take your money until the metal detector is coming your way. You see what I'm saying? He don't sit on your money for months. It doesn't happen with him. So are you saying that you had to pay money? But anyway, I just don't know. I like this new. Ryan says his are still $5.99. So I don't know, Ryan, if she's saying that she or he placed an order by novice. No politics, Andy, but I agree. No payment until the unit is ready to ship. That's how Ryan does it and that is the right way to do it. Unmasking of the new technology is king. I think so too, Anthony, and I think that we're close. And where Minelab and XP have Nokta at this point is at depth. So I'm not talking about actual detection at depth. I'm talking about IDing, and there's a higher percentage, in my opinion, if I'm using a Legend or triple score or Manicore or Equinox or Deus 2 or WS6 Master, I have better information with the XP and the Manicore at extreme detection depth. And that is where those two brands have a advantage over the Noktas at this current time. But with that being said, and I've always got to say this, those detectors cost way more money. All the detectors will hit stuff super deep, but with a Legend you may get a super deep 12-inch coin and you may not know. You just know that it's a target there. With the Minelab you may go, that's high odds that that's a high conductive target, and with the Deus 2 that's a high conductive target. And there's good odds that it's a coin or something like that. And that's where the advantage comes right now, is that information. And I think that shop, I think, okay, so I don't, okay. Dang it. Yeah, so unmasking is the game of the future. Trash identification, ignoring aluminum foil. When you have co-mingled targets, you have a piece of foil and a coin here, and the machine averages them. The manufacturer that figures out the technology to where it can look at the aluminum foil, and maybe you could set the machine up, ignore the lower conductor, and engage the higher conductor in the ID, or however they do it. The manufacturer that goes with that suit will be ruling the roost. But we have great detectors, the triple score, the Legend, we have the Elite, we have the Equinox, we have the Deus 2, and the Manicore, and whichever one you're using, you're doing, you ain't behind, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see where the Vortex fits in with all this. We will see, and we will find out. Let me bump down here. I just don't understand why they won't be open about what's going on with the Detector. So agree with you about a red flag jumping out. Well, I don't know what's going on with them today, but, we shall see. But we see that the other companies are saying, hey, I got to, this is going on, we're fixing this. And to me, that is a more open way to keep the community calm down. You know what I mean? I pre-ordered one, I want it. You know what I mean? Well, we're working on this. We're trying to, you know what I mean? But hey, each business has got their own model, and that is Detector Warehouse VX9 listed at $699. What? VX9 listed at $699. Is that with headphones, or what is that, Metal Detector in Oklahoma? So, oh, okay. So Detector Warehouse just got sold. Okay, I got you. Just got sold and does not what's going. Oh, okay. Good deal. What's going on, Lewis? But yeah, man, I'm not going to hold you guys up too long. So we'll see what happens with the Vortex. I will try to get down and do some beach videos just showing the process. And I got so many. Think about the models I got to do this with. The Triple, the Legend, the Elite. What else have I got over here? The Deus 2, the Manicore. I don't have an Equinox in-house right now. But I would do basic setup 101 videos of just like if you get to the beach, this is how you do it. We will continue to test and use these latest version. It's not yet, Lewis. It's not. And I don't know when that's going to come out. I looked at the beach version. The beach beta is better. But that's really all that, me and Iffy was talking. He had a couple things he was looking at. And I'm not basically going through the whole machine. I don't have time. To be honest, I don't have time to go through the whole machine like I did with XP and just So I'm looking at certain aspects, and the beach is what I've been looking at on these detectors really hard. The pinpoint and the beast mode. The beast mode on these machines, you know, I'm not sold on it, but I don't really need a beast mode on either one of them, so I'm not really worried about it. I don't know, Ricky, when it's going to come out. I haven't talked with Delic in probably a week or so. I kind of figured she was at that rally over, is it in England that went on? But I haven't spoke with her, so I don't know if they'll have future updates or what's going on with the Legend update. So we'll see, and as soon as I find out about the Legend update, I'll let you guys know. But what else was I doing? I did find one thing interesting. So I was testing the triple score head to head with the Legend, and I was checking the recovery speed, and the scale is different. The triple is faster than the Legend at 1. So I kind of found that it's interesting when you test brands head to head, you know, a different model detectors to see how they're scaled out. A lot of the performance is very similar with the triple and the Legend. I feel like the triple is easier to set up with the iron filter and all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know what I mean? But the scale is a little bit different on the recovery speed too. I found that the triple was faster in 1 than the Legend was in 1, and I found that very interesting. So the scale was a little bit different on it. I was trying to think else. I haven't had a lot of time to test this week because I've been out of town. But I'm probably going to, like I said, get down to the beach next week and try to do some stuff down there and show these detectors. Man, it's just a great time. Let me cut this camera off so I don't run my battery down, and cut this gimbal off right here. Yeah, this is, look, you see all this stuff, man? I mean, really. It's my YouTube turned into be a bigger deal than I thought. It used to just be a simple GoPro. Now it's camera over here, camera here, 2 GoPros over here. That's just how it is with me, man. I just got that disease. Whatever I get into, I'm wide open with. But you guys, it's been good hanging out. How long have we been on here? We've been on 1 hour and 7 minutes. You guys check out Metal Detecting Shop for all your metal detecting needs. Got the best return policy in the business. Doesn't take any money on pre-orders until your detector is ready to ship. Straight up guy right here. I'm not, you guys know I've been on here on YouTube a while, and I've always tried to shoot straight, and that guy right there, he's a straight up guy to deal with. You know what? I think that they changed the iron filter on the Beta 3 on the triple. And I don't know that I like that Delta Fresh Relics. I really like the way that it was running. And me and Iffy was talking about this, and you see, here's the problem. I go out, I test it on the beach, and I show the depth. Then we get one more beta update, and I'm happy with the beta update that they did for the beach, and I'm like, run it. Then we get something that went on behind the scenes, Delta Fresh Relics, and I think that Treasure Finder 66, who has the beta version 2, I sent it to him, or if he sent it to him, Delic told us we could let him test it down on the Gulf Coast, told me that the bottle caps were a little bit more problematic, but that was with the iron filter cut off. So they may have expanded the scale, so now maybe you might have to run a 1 or 2 to match the old lowest setting on the other beta versions or the original release version of the triple. But I need to get back to the beach and experiment with that one a little more. I mean, I get what they're doing in expanding the iron scale, much like Minelab put the -1 on the Elite, but I don't know how useful that becomes on an iron loaded sight. Or you know what I mean? So you may I know the XP in a beta version changed the silencer. They told us this behind the scenes, and like they changed, like when the Deus 2 was released, it had a silencer 2, but in the new update, the new 2 was the old 1, and it was just, they changed the scale behind the scenes. And I think that Nokta may have changed the scale on the triple 2 behind the scenes. You made it. If this complicated, buddy, with all those cameras, but it's what, yeah, you made it this complicated, buddy, with all those cameras. Well, it was always of searching what would happen. I'm gonna be honest with you about that, Edward, and what really sparked this is I would watch people's videos. Some people's videos you watch and the camera's shaking and it makes you drunk to watch. And then I would watch these professional quality YouTube videos and I'm like, dude, I'm learning the detectors. I'm spending all this time doing the detectors. I'm trying to show people these detectors. So I want my content to match my professionalism with these detectors. And that's really what sparked this. I was like, I want better content and better visuals of my videos to match my, what I would call professionalism in testing metal detectors or using metal detectors and the high quality stuff that I found over the years. And that's what started it. And that's why I could show you all kinds of crap over here. I got lenses, flashes. I've been doing portraits. I took a portrait of my granddaughter with a black backdrop. I'll show you guys that picture one day. And that flash photography with a black backdrop gives it like a mood feeling. It's stunning. It's really stunning. I took a guy at work. He's in his 40s, got a little gray hair like me. And I took the black backdrop and I took my flash and I shot the flash. And anyway, photography stuff. But man, his portrait looked like he should have been in GQ. I was like, dude, I should have get paid for this. You know. But anyway, I just I like fiddling with stuff, man. And electronics, I did not know, well, early on in life, you know, when I was a kid and stuff, you know, my grandparents, hey, can you fix the cable? I mean, you know, when I was 11, 12 years old, I'd fix the cable TV. You know, cable was kind of new back then, you know, hook it up and all this stuff. But electronics I really, really like. And I guess I like the challenge of it and keeping my mind occupied with, especially now, you know, I found a lot of good stuff in my detecting career. And that, yeah, is part of it. But part of it now is, that used to be all of it. You know what I mean? Oh, I got to find a button. I want to find this. But now it's about the adventure. I got my buddy Flagman that I dive with. I got my buddy Carolina Digger I beach hunt with and relic hunt with in the fall. And I really enjoy just the camaraderie of that. And I also enjoy taking you guys along and trying to give you the experience with us. I mean, in my opinion, you know, I know that I'm very blessed, and I know that everybody can't get out and travel up and down the road every week shooting a diving video or a metal detecting video. And I want you guys to be able to come along on that experience and, you know, enjoy that with me, man. It's just a, you know, and I'm trying to get better at it so it'll be more enjoyable for you guys. Glamour shots, hello, yeah, I do. You may go ahead and bring out the professor coat. Cell phone footage, keep it simple. Yeah, hey, Lance, and here's the deal. My daughter has a YouTube channel, and all she uses is a cell phone, and she blisters me. You know, my videos get 1,500 views. She's got 40,000 views. So, you know, it's just all perception, but that's my thing with it. And, you know, but I don't know that my YouTube channel will ever be super giant, because I think that we're such a small niche group. This is circled around advanced detector teachings, or advanced detectors, bringing the beginner detectors in and teaching them and bringing them to another level. And I don't know how big that niche is in the metal detecting world. I got a feeling it's not as big as we see some of the other channels like Nugget, Hoover. We see Quarter Hoarder, and they show up. Quarter Hoarder does excellent videos, by the way. But he's got a huge channel. A lot of it's just finds related. But mine is more, you guys know that I've grew my channel off detector comparisons and teaching. So, but anyway, I enjoy doing it, and I'm glad I'm back. You guys know I had that spurt in life, and but I'm glad I'm back. And hey, what'd you guys think about the intro and the haters? I like that. What's going on, Bob? That really bring us to that peace and calm place we all, yes, and that is, I achieve that more now detecting, but I really achieve that calm place detecting underwater. I love to detect on land, but I found a place that I really can, it's almost like a Zen moment. When I got my Deus 2 and I'm on a site that has Rev War buttons, and I know the history of the site, and it has pieces of swords and Spanish reals and cap bust coins and all that type stuff and black glass bottles, I come into a concentration that I probably have never had in my whole life. I mean, I'm on the bottom, I'm listening to the detector. I get very focused, and basically for a couple of hours when I'm under that water, and you guys can relate to this on land, when you got those headphones on, you detach from the realities and of life, and you get into that Zen, peaceful state. Then an alligator swims by. So, you know, but then I find the button and I forget all about him. What's going on, Gino? Hey, I appreciate it, Ryan. You guys, I'm going to dive off of here tonight, man. And you guys have a great weekend. Stay tuned. I got a dive video I'll probably release Saturday or Sunday with the cap bust and a couple of other finds in it. The heavy metal music you have as well. I grew up listening. Wait, Lewis, you know, just real quickly, I like a lot of different music. I like some heavy metal music, and I experiment with it all, but I like some heavy metal music. I like classic rock. I like some country. I like some soul music and blues music. I just was really exposed to a lot of different music, you know, growing up. My uncles were big music fans, and they listened to a lot of different stuff. And as they got older, I remember as a kid, they would change, you know, styles of music, and we'd get on this one or that one. But yeah, I will continue to introduce different tunes. I was looking at some Bad Company today. You know, I put it with a video. I was like, no, that don't match. But YouTube has a program that I use to where I can use a lot of copyrighted music. Now, some of it costs me. Some of it I have to buy a license. The song today has a license to it. So I had to purchase a license to use that song. But some of it has like where I can share. So on my stream, it may give me 5 cents and them 5 cents. And I can use that music. But I like being able to use really good music. Or I'm finding that I like to do that now. And with the storyline. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. We're going to have some more dive videos. Let's see. I appreciate it, Terry. I appreciate you joining in with me. And you guys come out, and I'm going to try to do it next week. It may not be possible. I may not dive until Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so I may not be back in time. If not, I'll get back on here on a live stream as soon as we can. But it may be if I can talk my wife into let's go on a staycation and go to the beach. I like actually doing that to where I'm got a room on the beach where I'm not loading and going over there. And I actually like the beach. Open the door, listen to the waves. That's pretty peaceful too. We'll try to get some beach videos. But hey, you guys have a great night, great weekend. You be safe. If you want to send me some of your finds, calabashdiggeradventures@gmail.com, and I will get what I can in each session, and I'll show what you got, and we'll give you the credit for it. So I appreciate all you guys. You guys have a great night. We appreciate Westco Detect. You guys give him a big hand for moderating. He does a very good job and keeps all the haters at bay. So thanks, guys, and you guys have a great weekend.